Hello. Back. Happy Saturday. Today's a Saturday. Oh no. Okay, last time I had been playing the jukebox, which lets me jump into expeditions to earn experience and rewards, and I did not have a great time. And so I think I would rather jump back in. But it would be nice to do targeted upgrades. One ability point. Astral constructs. Toward countermeasures. Maintenance. Containment. Surge. Service weapon in surge mode. Outfits. Cool. That's cool. This gives off a very Stranger Things vibe, so I think I'm going to go with this for now. What are my goals? That's guns. What are my goals? There we go. Finish Tango. Search for the slide projector and dimensional research. Investigate the pit. Cleanse and contain the Japanese paper lantern. Cleanse and contain the traffic light. Cleanse and contain the hand chair. Cleanse and contain the moving letters. Use a token in the jukebox is what I was doing. Locate the mirror in synchronicity. Investigate the sector elevator. Let's investigate the sector elevator. It should be here, right?
Good luck out there.
Darkness engulfed the elevator. There was something there, reaching for her, trying to make her act. It was a distress call. Faden sensed a drowning man, a hunger in the dark. Investigation sector.
Investigation sector, huh? We should check this out.
Collectibles.
Darkness engulfed the elevator. There was something there. A presence. Jesse Faden could hear it. A call. It was faint, reaching for her from a dark place. Faden was sensitive to visitations. She had them all the time. From her guiding star and the previous director. She was the perfect receiver. As if she'd been made for this. Faden paused to feel it. The force at play here. It was changing things around her, subtle, trying to make her act. Faden didn't like that. Her guide felt it too. Polaris didn't flare up in defense as with the hiss, so it wasn't all bad. Not a hostile transmission. It was powerful, but it was coming from far away, and made weak because of the distance. It was a distress call. Faden sensed a drowning man, a man desperate to escape. She sensed something else too. A hunger in the dark, not unlike the hostile resonance, waiting, She knew that desperate acts can have grim consequences. It was this, more than the man's despair, that made her follow the call. The elevator lights winked back on. The darkness receded like a memory. There was a new button on the elevator control panel. Investigation Sector. Faden pressed the button. The elevator doors slid shut with practiced bravado.
Cool. Alan Wake is the same actor as Professor Darling, but you couldn't really tell. The hunt and peck method on a typewriter, that seems terribly inefficient. Sector head office. Explore the investigation sector.
Hello? Anyone here? Guess not.
Missing agents. 2017. Mr. Kirkland. Here are our latest agents confirmed missing, presumed dead for the containment breach yesterday. Agent Jonathan Connor, researcher Ezra Cruz, Agent Caroline Dempsey, Agent Lindsay Malcolm, Agent Charles Murray, Agent Derek Shaw. Letters of condolences will be delivered to you to sign prior to sending them to their families. You will be updated as soon as additional confirmations are made. Also, per your request, a network engineer checked how many cases were backed up digitally. Unfortunately, a large number of active investigations were not archived yet, and the only hard copies of reports exist behind the firebreak. They're lost, I'm afraid.
Seems a lot more crowded than the rest of the Bureau.
Can't see what I'm looking at. Tractor supplement? Burrow Tractor. AI 82-KE. Acquisition date 4/21/2019. Scene not acquired. Burrow Tractor. Supplementary materials. Note, miscommunication led to a local coroner examining the body of William Burrow. Burrow, William. Male, Caucasian. Case summary. 33-year-old man found dead on his property, per police report. Remains obtained for coroner's office also include blood, urine, bile, stomach contents, and bone fragments. Autopsy findings: blunt force injuries, head. A. Lacerations, left ear, cheek. Blunt force injuries, extremities. A. Dislocation, right knee. B. Complete avulsion of the right upper extremity with associated fracture of the proximal right humerus. Extensive trauma, abdominal region. A. Complete avulsion of multiple organs, including stomach, heart, liver, pancreas, kidneys, and portions of the large and small intestine, all missing from scene. Conclusion: it is my opinion that Mr. Burrow's death is not the result of a mechanical accident, as claimed by authorities. The removal of organs is consistent with animal attack. Okay. Resignation letter. 2019. To whom it may concern, it is with great anger and regret that I tender my resignation as head of investigations for the Federal Bureau of Control. I do this in protest of the rampant disregard for my department's blank. My staff cannot continue to work in these conditions. Previous requests and warnings have fallen on deaf ears, so I must now rely on my actions to speak louder than my words ever could. I blame this situation on our blank, who has routinely ignored my requests for assistance in reclaiming the parts of the investigation sector lost to the blank loose inside That sounds concerning. I will never forget the screams of brave agents begging for us to open that fire break. I will carry that shame for the rest of my days. The blank has failed his agents. I shall never forgive him for that. Sincerely, William Kirkland. Something loose? Great. That bodes well. There's a control point over there. Polaris is calling me to it. Can I get back there? Maybe? Maybe not? Come over here first. Darling investigation. Compiled by Tim Spalder, Special Agent, by order of William Kirkland, Head of Investigations. Official Findings Report, R.E. Dr. Casper Darling. Internal, confidential. Summary. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, Internal Investigation D084-5 was launched into the ethical practices of Dr. Casper Darling, Head of Research. Despite the accounts of anonymous blank regarding inhumane treatment of a blank currently housed in the Bureau, our official findings regarding this were inconclusive. Numerous obstacles arose during this investigation. The majority of blank sector personnel seemed to be wholly unaware of any such blank contained there. One blank confirmed the blank's codename to be blank, but all files pertaining to that name were inaccessible, being classified under the highest clearance level. Investigators were similarly blocked from entering the blank research wing to interview its staff. The matter was further complicated by the lack of clarity on whether non-human paranatural entities warrant humane treatment. While this investigation cannot address any charges against Dr. Darling, we do recommend an investigation into blank research. Refer to file 9-82-0136 for full report. Cauldron Lake update. To Chief Investigator Dennis, it happened again. Third time this year. Something certainly has it out for our blank. Could be raccoons. The locals certainly complain about them enough, but why the hell would raccoons keep going after a monitoring station? Doesn't add up. Anyway, I've got a bureau tech going to the site next week to take a look. Next on the list of recurring problems is the staff at the Lake House Research Station. How am I supposed to effectively keep an eye on the blank lake if they won't let me see any data? Hell, I don't even know what they're researching out there. We need to petition them again to share their info with investigations agents. It's only a matter of time before this blank hits again, and I want to be prepared. Anyway, if anyone at HQ asks why Bright Falls report is a little thin this month, tell them it's because we couldn't take any readings. Meantime, I might invest in some raccoon traps. Sincerely, Agent Estevez. Compiled by Agent Lisa Keenum, External Investigator by order of William Kirkland, Head of Investigations. Official Finding Reports, R.E. Dr. Rhea Underhill. Summary. Dr. Rhea Underhill is a professor at the University of Woodrow in the United Kingdom, where she teaches biology with a focus on botany. Dr. Underhill once worked with the Bureau as a parabotanist stationed in the research sector of the oldest house. She served with no incidents or demerits and is praised by those who formerly worked with her, including Dr. Darling. Dr. Underhill has no known connections to paracriminal organizations or any record of breaching her NDAs since leaving the Bureau. Her civilian behavior has been ideal, with the exception of an ongoing personal relationship with Dr. Darling that appears to have begun during their time as co-workers in the research sector and revisited intermittently ever since. Depending on the duration of her work in the oldest house, it may be required to have both parties sign a relationship clearance form. This investigation has found no compelling reason to deny Dr. Darling's request to offer Dr. Underhill an interim position with the aim of finding a solution to the mold threshold issue. Refer to file 7-08-5286 for full report. Not as good. Deconstruct. Oh, sorry for all the clearing of my throat. I'm recovering from illness over the holiday, and now it just lives here. Trench, official warning. Kirkland, I am growing tired of your blatant attempts to lay your incompetence at my doorstep. I know you want this to be true, but you are head of investigations. This failure is your responsibility. What did you think would happen, holding a dangerous specimen in investigations? The containment sector exists for a reason. They are better trained and better equipped for this type of work. In fact, they have admirably taken on certain AWE monitoring responsibilities that your staff are no longer capable of. This happens more and more now. And don't think your petty internal investigations have gone past my notice. You are a worm. Everything I've done has been for the benefit of the Bureau. The Prime Candidate program only failed because of Darling. You are both failures, plotting against me. You are traitors, but the truth will emerge out of you. You are choosing to become my enemy, Kirkland. You don't want to be. Zachariah Trench, Director of the Federal Bureau of Control. Strong words. Compiled by Redacted. Official Findings Report, R.E. blank. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, blank blank was launched into the blank of Director Zachariah Trench. A recent change in blank witnessed in Director Trench, including aggressive blank when blank with other staff, has been observed. However, this investigation is aimed at interpreting this issue rather than proving it. Notable blank between Director Trench and Dr. Darling has been witnessed by numerous Bureau staff. Although both declined to meet for an interview on the matter, witness accounts suggest their arguments center around the Dimensional Research Wing and the blank kept inside. However, no evidence exists to confirm Dr. Trench's blank as anything more than interpersonal disagreements. This investigation has concluded that Dr. Trench's behavior is not indicative of any blank, and that his fitness to lead is not in question. Refer to blank for full report. Staffing issue. Mr. Dennis. So yes, there's an increase in AWE cases, and yes, it would be a good idea to put together a special task force to examine exactly why that is. However, it seems that a tiny little detail has slipped through the cracks. We don't have the damn staff. If you expect us to detect, investigate, and process more AWE cases, you need to give us more people. It's simple math. Between the staff we lost at the Hartman thing and the ones who left for other departments after Kirkland quit, we're barely managing to keep up with the workload. Hell, just filing the paperwork for all the altered items we left behind in the sector has been an ordeal. Another thing, this is going to sound paradoxical, but we have an overcrowding situation. This lobby isn't meant to accommodate a whole sector's worth of staff. We put forward a motion to move investigations to a more suitable location months ago. Better not still be sitting on your desk. The people are getting restless, and as Kirkland's interim replacement, it's your job to handle it. Best regards, Agent Grayson.
It's not working. Probably a loose power core somewhere.
The count? So afraid I was about to get attacked. Nope. Great. Keystone inspection. Mr. Kirkland. We stopped at Keystone on our way to the target AWE like you asked. I'm sending my report directly to you to try and keep a lid on this Grumman Morales desertion issue. We didn't find any sign of them here. Given their records, it is possible they've switched teams like you suspected, but I don't think that's the case. An event definitely occurred here in Keystone, and I think Grumman and Morales got caught up in it. The entire population has vanished into thin air. Reminds me of the Ordinary case, but that was just the adults, if I'm remembering the files correctly. This is different. Oh, excuse me. I think our guys are casualties, not traitors. If it was an AWE, it seems to be over. We walked through the whole town, and the only strange thing we noticed were markings of various buildings. 2 overlapping circles with a dot in the shared space. Could be unrelated. I'll show you the pictures when I get back. In the meantime, you should send a team out here to cordon this place off and to maybe get the comms guys working on a cover story. Sincerely, Agent Keenum. Okay. Ethics investigation. Patricia Lewis, Special Agent. Official findings report, RE the Prime Candidate Program. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, internal investigation P-142-9 was launched into the legality of the Prime Candidate Program, blank, by the Federal Bureau of Control. Since all known subjects relevant to the investigation used executive privilege to decline interviews, very little first-hand information was gathered. However, anonymous sources and documentation declassified by Mr. Kirkland both paint an alarmingly clear picture of systematic blank and blank. Blank were brought into the Goldest House and placed under blank examination and testing with the aim of appointing one as director upon maturity. This program has produced no successful cases and only resulted in the traumatic blank of paranaturally inclined blank. Not only is this in breach of the Ash Act, but it flies in the face of basic human blank. This investigation team unequivocally blank the Prime Candidate Program and recommends that it be blank immediately. Tractor procedures. Burrow tractor. So earlier was a report linked to the incident. This is the actual item itself. Item is not in Bureau custody. None known. Description. Altered effect. A Frank Elk tractor. Olive green. Dried blood on the grill when last seen. Item is capable of vocalized responses, or growls, and unmanned locomotion, considered highly aggressive and dangerous. Background. The item first came to the Bureau's attention after the death of William Burrow, owner of Burrow Farm outside of Trenton, Texas. Local authorities arrived on scene after an employee found the mutilated body of Mr. Burrow beneath his tractor. Police arrived, but were immediately driven away by the tractor. Panicked calls to federal authorities were intercepted by Bureau communications staff. A team was dispatched. Upon arrival, the agents approached the item. It responded by growling like a bear. 3 agents were injured when they tried to detain the item, which escaped. Aerial searches for the item are ongoing. Speaking to Mrs. Burrow, only revealed that she had a domestic altercation with Mr. Burrow earlier the night of the incident. Whether these events are connected is currently unknown. Alright, I have only seen one energy cell. Let us... Nope, that's not it. How do I drop it? There has to be a way to just drop it. Okay, hold on. I'm curious enough, I'm going to look at it. Nothing found.
Now that gate should open.
Is this where I get attacked? I have to remember evade. I have to remember shield. Specimen escape assessment. Official findings report RE incident number A-49. The purpose of internal investigation X-039-7 is to examine the containment failure of specimen SI-1 that resulted in the deaths of blank agents. An inspection report of the containment equipment 3 days earlier showed no faults. Investigators suspect human error to be the cause, yet no department has provided any evidence to support this. Technicians were able to recover the researchers' notes in the specimen from the internal network. The blank of blank, the specimen began displaying a sharp increase in aggressive blank. Cross-referencing that date with various logs found only 2 events inconsistent with the sector's daily routine. 1, the air filters were changed, and 2, an hour prior to the incident, a civilian named Alice Blank entered the sector regarding an unrelated investigation. See interview number 65-F-124. Given their connection to the same AWE case, it is likely that Mrs. Blank's presence is relevant to the specimen's escape and to the blank. Investigation is ongoing. Is it the tractor? It is really dark.
I'm no detective, but something definitely happened here.
Blessed Organization. Compiled by Agent Tim Spaulding by order of Remy Dennis, Chief Investigator. Paracriminal Profile, the Blessed Organization. This group, or individual, has operated outside of the Bureau's notice for decades, perhaps longer, displaying a level of skill and caution rarely seen in paracriminal groups. A review of past cases has found various mentions of their activity over the years. In 2016, a production company called Blessed Pictures was connected to an altered item case, as well as the death of an agent from exposure to illicit paranatural materials. In 1994, a Los Angeles-based public speaker named Chester Bless was involved in the illegal use of an altered item. In 1988, a business called Blessed Repair and Service was suspected of involvement with an object of power case, perhaps even creating it. None of these businesses or individuals has ever been located. However, their connection to appearances of altered items and objects of power is too direct to be considered circumstantial. An arrest order has been issued for any persons believed to be involved with the Blessed Organization. It's not a staircase. Felt like staircase. Weird to see a light switch here. 1, 2, 3.
Do we know each other? This feels familiar. I can't seem to... I've forgotten it. I'm sorry. My name is Alan Wake.
Friend Tom Zane. There's nothing to worry about.
Tom, The poet. The diver. You look different.
That was just a role, a character. The protagonist I played in my old film. I'm a filmmaker. An auteur like yourself. We're working on this together, remember? An artistic collaboration. You need a drink. Gibbish.
Endless darkness. Nothing holds still.
We're very close now. You've been writing. I found a way to escape. It'll work this time.
Riding.
You found a way!
No. I don't. Wait. There's something. It's my double. He's out there. I've seen it.
Yeah. Nothing to worry about. I'm dealing with it. It's fine, my friend. Let me handle him.
You've met him? What the hell?
Now, come on. You misunderstand me.
Interesting. I've watched.
That was Alan Wake, the writer who went missing in that AWE case I read about. What's he doing here?
I've watched through Alan Wake 2 and the Alan Wake remake at some point. It's been a little while. But that also is very, very interesting and deals with altered time, altered events. I'm going to take a quick break and be right back. All right, on with the investigation.
And Thomas Zane was with him. The poet. No, wait. He was a filmmaker. I always remember that wrong.
The bell changes something. That sounds like a slide projector. That's loud. Okay. We have a TV and a radio. Okay, TV and the radio are off. That means back to the bell. Okay, it's 3 things turned off. Now is it back to the bell? Do I try this door again? Okay, back to the door. Nothing. No bell? No bell. Mouse back here. Something I can now turn back on. What is the thing I miss about using a controller? Every time I press a button, it's okay. Oh, there we go. It's okay. Wow, go, as fast as possible. With the controller, you'd have the option of just a little bit. Okay, we got a key. Oh. Cheap scare.
Dr. Emil Hartman, devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been Hartman, broke loose, killed everyone it could, lurking, roaming, waiting. Then something else came. A resonance. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change. Dr. Emil Hartman was desperate. The Federal Bureau of Control had stolen his life's work. This was his last chance, his final experiment. What he'd been too scared to do before. Hartman dove into the lake, was taken, devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been Hartman. Only an echo of him remained, fragmented impulses on autoplay, violent, bloodthirsty darkness in the driver's seat. Emerging from the lake, the thing was captured by the FBC, brought in, contained, studied. The thing broke loose, killed everyone it could. The FBC fell back and sealed the sector. The thing was alone in the dark,
Okay.
lurking, roaming, waiting. Then something else came. Not darkness, but similar enough. A sound. A resonance. It shouldn't be a surprise. If there's one, why not another? The darkness inside the thing could have been immune, could have resisted, fought, could have been passed by, passed through with no effect. But it didn't, and it wasn't. Maybe it had grown weaker over time, not aged. It was timeless, but weaker with no link to its source. A metamorphosis followed. The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
All right. Let's continue figuring out what's going on. Now I have a key. Yep, that looks like a picture of me back in the investigation sector, but now with an open path. 1, 2, 3. Alright, here we go. Danger, do not open. I think this is what they call the fire break. Notice. This area is under 24-hour video surveillance. Danger, open pit. Oh. I don't think I can kill that thing. Looks like I can slow it down. Alright, can I make it over this with my hover? Let's find out. Oh, well. I can. Oh. What? Am I meant to go over here? I don't want to do that. Looks like I'm supposed to, though. there a recharge that I didn't know about? Oh. That was weird. Well. Okay. I feel like it's deliberately dropping me. It looks like I'm supposed to be making it over there, but it doesn't look like I have the ability to make it over there. So now I'm curious why that might be. Maybe that door is going to open for me. I just tested the fact that there's not much of a recharge. I swear, I'm doing the same thing every time. That's so weird. There's something else I'm missing? Let me look around a little bit more thoroughly than I am. Come on, open, open, open. Okay, so I'm reacting to the fact that I can easily make it over there, presumably could also easily make it over there, and they have put down a yellow tarp or something that has me thinking that is the place to go. But the fact that as soon as I jump over there, my ability to levitate is crippled. That's what I expect to happen. I expect to be able to jump up, straight up like that. Okay, for some reason that worked that time. Okay. I will choose not to question that, much as I would like to.
Creepy, damp, and abandoned. Why did Wake want me to come here?
This is not my comfort zone. Luckily, I'm I'm afraid I'm gonna have to get off soon. Ah, such inconvenience. Nothing in here. Weird that they would have a room whose sole purpose is for me not to be in there. What was that? Things are floating. I am going to turn up the brightness just a little bit. That looks fake. Definitely brighter though. Is it too much? Might be too much. Check the bathroom. Always good. Shaded facet. First time I'm seeing that. Wait, hold on. It just occurred to me that if it's HDR, no, it's game brightness. Okay, it's not peak. Bathroom. Okay. Operations center, filing and processing.
That doesn't look like a house shift.
Okay.
Do I even want to know?
I do. I kind of want to know. I'm worried though. Health recovery personal mod. What's with all of these being crap? Although I guess I've not gotten really good health recovery perks. Because the other one I had is 29% compared to 33%, so that one's clearly better. Even though it's a level 3 mod instead of a... I feel like it's about time for some combat. And here we go. Oh, jeez. Not bad. Seize accelerator. Which I have prime 68% versus 71%. This one's nice. Yes. Get rid of the 60 whatever it was. It's gone now. Don't need to know what it was. Okay, that was totally reasonable. You're gonna die soon. Yep, there they go. I don't know why it has to be such an alarming sound, though. More intel. Hartman arrest. Offender names Emil Hartman. Victim names Wake, Allen, Anderson, Tor, Anderson, Odin, Blank, Lane, Rudolph, DeSole, Wendy, Emerson, Thomas. Officer names Dennis, Special Agent Remy. Charges. Code 4, kidnapping of altered individuals, 1 count. Code 8, sanctions against altered organizations, 1 count. Code 37, obstruction of Bureau investigation, 1 count. Code 74, breaching the Ash Act, 6 counts. They mentioned the Ash Act earlier. I don't remember exactly what it was. Additional notes. Offender's property seized as evidence to be used in conjunction with an ongoing AWE investigation. The offender's personal effects have been sent to research for analysis. After being cleared by Bureau researchers, all victims have been released. Biannual surveillance orders were assigned to each, except the Anderson brothers, due to their senility. Wake, possibly deceased. I like how they have an Alan Wake subplot. Foot gossip. Hello, my feet gossip at night, and now I have to wear shoes to bed. Sincerely, me. Under the category of dead letters. Okay, great, good. Where it came from. There's a couch up there.
Whoa. Looks like the house has gotten a little wild in here.
Several couches. Couch there. Couch there. Let's go to these service tunnels I see advertised. Oh.
This darkness is blocking the door. So now I have to deal with an interdimensional noise and sentient shadows. Light burns it away, huh? Makes sense.
It's F. F drops something if you're holding it. Using yellow. Is this something from Alan Wake? Okay. I still have no way of getting into the mist. Assuming I learned that at some point, because there's mist all over the damn place. Yeah, lots of yellow. The palette. Let's meet Hartman before we call it a day. Cleanse 25 control points is the achievement I just got. Okay, I see a bright light there. Fire break is the other way. Operations center is this way. Oh yeah, here I am at the top. What a wild place. This is really cool. I do really enjoy this game. It's one of my favorite games I've played in a while.
The sound made darker, the darkness made louder. Hartman was stretched like a worm through time. The third thing was a monster. Now he crashed out of darkness toward Phaeton.
He did what to me? Confiscated motive. Conceptual material. And another jukebox token. I got another mission? Let's see what this hotline is.
The resonance carves its way through the thing that had been Hartman, vibrating, remolding. The sound changes the darkness, and the darkness changes the sound. They both changed what remained of Hartman. They all turned into something else. A third thing. The sound made darker. The darkness made louder. Hartman was stretched. Stretched as anyone when seen from out of time, like a worm through time. Almost an Ouroboros, a spiral, a maelstrom. The gravity well of a black hole, twisting inward, tightening, taking you deeper and deeper to the bottom, the heart, and through to the other side. The third thing said, when you hear this, you will know you're a new you. He said, we build you till nothing remains. He said, under the conceptual reality, behind this reality, you must want these ways to drag you away. He said, baby, 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 yeah, orange peel.
Just heard that.
The third thing was a monster. He'd tear apart any ordinary person crossing his path.
Great.
Now he crashed out of darkness toward Faden. There was nothing ordinary about Faden.
True. Crush any ordinary person. I am not ordinary. I want to push on just a little bit further to see if we can catch a glimpse of this darkness, and then that would be a great point to end an episode. Interrogation complaint. Kirkland. So you put me on desk duty just because I did the thing I was fucking hired to do? My job? Want to know what I call that? Bullshit. Asking us to interrogate these scum without using words like altered items or AWEs or paracriminal is the stupidest thing I've heard in my life, and I've heard some fucking stupid things. They already know the facts. Hell, they know just as much as us, if not more. And they get to sit there laughing at us while we dance around our words trying not to leak classified terminology. They already know the fucking terminology. If you think pulling me off the case will stop me, then think again. The piece of shit blew up those tracks. He killed those people, all to make a train turn altered. We have him dead to rights, and you need to let me back in that interrogation cell so I can get him to flip on his buddies. These people are terrorists and deserve to be treated as such. This won't stop unless we stop them. You can go ahead and put me in suspension, see if that slows me down. Agent Hewitt.
Agent Fisher, day 6 inside the motel. Utilized surveillance methods are as follows. Fiber optic cameras slid under the individual room doors. Motion detectors in the lobby area. Tripwire, triggering a flash camera across the main entrance. Even fingerprint powder on the front desk. Results are varying at best. But mostly just inconclusive and unusable. The footage is corrupted. Sometimes even the equipment is damaged. I don't know how, exactly. I think this place is making fun of me. That's the only explanation. I can hear them laughing and screaming behind the closed doors. I can hear the call bell go and ding multiple times a day, but when I look, there's no one there. I know I'm supposed to stay out of sight, but I've seen the doors closing just before I can catch even a glimpse of anyone or anything. They're messing with me, whoever they are. I think... Wait, shh. There's something. I gotta get this. Gotta get the cable out. Come on, you fiber optic fuck. Cooperate. Okay, there we go.
That's good.
6 inside the motel. Utilized surveillance methods are as follows. Fiber optic cameras lit under the individual.
Hey, it's Atoll. What's his name? This is so dark. Can't see anything. Compiled by David Gleason, Special Investigator, by order of Remy Dennis, Chief Investigator. Official findings report: illegal altered item market. A black market hub specializing in the trade of occult talismans, relics, and other assorted ceremonial objects, as well as genuine altered and paranatural materials, was raided in Blank, Czech Republic, by a team of special investigators. Unsuccessful attempts by suspects to escape using altered items resulted in numerous casualties and prevented the Bureau from questioning all participants. The following interrogations revealed that not only is there a vast network of these retailers, but that they seem to be gathering information on altered items and other paranatural materials from sources unknown to the Bureau. The Bureau's concern here is threefold. A, there is a growing underground market for paranatural materials, which implies a growing awareness of their existence among a niche group of the general public. B, these criminal individuals do not seem aware of the item's paranatural powers, and their attempts to activate them could prove devastating if done in populated areas. C, the motivations of these collectors are largely unknown. Something through that door there, which is currently red. Interagency Cooperation Decision, RE NASA. Following the NASA FBC Coordination Agreement of 1972, the Bureau has provided NASA with numerous technological advancements based on our research, including the black rock lining now found in all spacefaring vessels. In return, all data gathered during space missions is made available for Bureau researchers to analyze. Recently, certain individuals have raised the concern that this relationship does not adequately benefit the Bureau, either intellectually or financially. A thorough examination of the costs accrued by both organizations has shown that the expense of NASA's recent launch of the Blank far outweighs any spending related to the processing and delivery of Blackrock. From its medium Earth orbit, the Blank will provide the Bureau with an unparalleled resource for remotely monitoring and photographing AWE sites, a resource that would be lost if the partnership ends. It is the opinion of the committee that maintaining a cooperative relationship with our colleagues at NASA is of vital importance. Bathroom. Seized protection. What? Oh. Incoming damage after seizing an enemy is reduced. I like that. Now we start to explore the idea of a seize specific build. What it might look like to a build that is based off of a specific sound. Specific ability. Presumably this is the other bathroom. It is.
Reminder, all employees are required to report their hours at the end of each month. The Federal Bureau of Control maintains that time is not subjective. Hours passed on alternative planes cannot be claimed. Astral dives do not accumulate overtime compensation. Thank you for your attention.
That's funny.
Reminder, all employees are required to report their hours at the end of each month. The Federal Bureau of Control maintains that time is not subjective. And hours passed on
I'm with the FBC. Move away from the door. I have a...
Thank you for your attention.
Wait, where is he? hear his name. Or I hear his name. I hear his voice. Let's get through this door. That is unfortunate. Some rendering issue. Wait. Where is he?
My understanding of the darkness is fragmented, incomplete. This abyss, this void, it very much does not wish to be understood. If light symbolizes knowledge, then it stands to reason that darkness would equate to ignorance. By its very nature, it abhors comprehension. Of course, my own nature drives me to comprehend all. We are opposing forces, destined to collide. And given this conflict of natures, we know that the light of truth will burn away the darkness, both figuratively and literally. Any significant light source can be used as protection, even weaponry, against this metaphysical gloom. And then there are the artists. I know for a fact that Tom, Wake, the Anderson brothers, and Lane all had some involvement with the darkness. The question is whether their uncanny ability to affect reality through their art beckons the darkness, or did their work perhaps even create it? With Wake now secure in my lodge, I expect I shall grow closer to learning the answers to these questions. Assuming he cooperates, which is proving quite the challenge. Well, perseverance is the foundation of knowledge. Speaking of, I must be off on my rounds.
Okay. Interesting. The Shadow. Compiled by Ezra Cruz, investigative researcher by order of William Kirkland, head of investigations. Examination of paranatural entities. The Shadow. Paranatural entity A-010, aka the Shadow, is an aggressive blank consisting of 3 known types. Type A, localized manifestations of sentient blank, capable of occupying organic and inorganic material as well as exerting blank over its surroundings. Type B, shaded individuals, human bodies blank by the Shadow. These individuals become notably more aggressive, but do seem to retain blank of their previous selves. Research is ongoing as to whether this condition is reversible. Type C, shaded objects. Similar to Type B, except that inanimate objects are blank solely to be used as destructive tools. Each type seems to work towards a shared goal, possibly targeting certain individuals. See AWE-35, which may imply a shared link to a blank intelligence. The threat this entity poses warrants immediate exploration of offensive-defensive measures. The investigation sector is being outfitted with additional lighting sources, some internally powered, to prepare for the eventuality of an blank. That's talking about the Shadow here. I think that's the recording downstairs. Eagle Limited summary. The Eagle Limited, AWE 44, 525, 2015, Bloomington, Illinois. A train derailment resulting in 62 casualties and numerous injuries was suspected to have been a work of a paracriminal group known as blank. The Blessed Group? As a result of this event, the agents discovered that one of the cars had become altered with a persistent auditory event. It remains to be determined whether the AWE was spontaneous or the direct result of the sabotage. Event response. The Bureau has been tracking said group at the time, and the intel gathered suggested an event of this caliber was imminent in Bloomington. As a result, a response team on site was able to respond to the train accident site within minutes of its occurrence. They arrived to find emergency processes underway, but also equipment left behind by the suspected group. A suspicious onlooker managed to elude agents after they attempted to make contact. Further investigation of the accident site revealed a curiously undamaged train car that exhibited an altered state when entered. This individual car was secured and transported to the investigation sector for further studies.
My understanding of the darkness is...
Hartman is the one I'm worried about, isn't he? Okay. Don't know what that connects to. I've got two possibilities for this power cell. What are artifacts here? Anti-aliasing or whatever it's doing. Yeah, there's something happening here. Cool. All right. I think it's probably best to call it there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Till the next time.